myofascial release video, and in this video I will be focusing on the feet. Okay, so if you've been maybe feeling a lot of tightness into this area, right, especially into the front and maybe into the sides of the ankles, maybe you've been overworking them, or maybe you've not been doing a lot of movement in the feet. With the ankle joints is an area that we don't usually pay a lot of attention to, but it's really important because we're always on our feet, walking, moving, running, and it's a lot of weight is being supported at the ankle joint itself. Okay, so for this particular video and this particular technique, we'll be using the release balls. We will be using one ball, and then we'll move on to two balls. So go ahead and grab your release balls. And if you don't have the release balls, you can always use your tennis balls as well. Now, if you do have other balls, right, try to find a ball that is a similar material or size to the release balls. The release balls are really good. Number one, because they're a really nice, solid, firm shape. So that when you apply pressure, there's a lot of support, it's really firm into that space. And then it's also pliable, yeah, that it is firm, but it's not overly hard, that there's no give when you apply pressure. So when you apply body weight or body area into the space, it's not hurting, jamming into a bone or an organ, okay, underneath the skin here. And also, because the release balls are really grippy, they're rubber material, so when I move the material against bare skin, the ball actually picks up the skin together with the movement and pulls it with it, so that that's how that we get some release of the fascia around the area as well. Okay, alright, so we'll be working into the feet, okay, today. So, right, especially into the flexors and the extensors, okay, which are all along the front, okay, in the sides here, and then we get into the sides of the feet as well. Okay, so before we start, we can just do a quick check-in, right? So you can just maybe, okay, just do circular movements, okay, in the ankle joint on one foot and on the other foot. If it's easier to do this standing, you can go ahead and stand. Okay, I prefer to stay seated. Alright, so just a couple of movements here. Okay, you can point and flex this way, again, just to feel, okay, how it feels right now when you do the movements. Alright, now from here, okay, you can also come onto your knees and then slowly sit the hips back and behind. Now, if the palms are forwards and the buttocks are slightly off the ground, okay, this is enough and you can already get off the pose here. But if you're comfortable sitting back towards the direction of the heels, okay, really noticing how the ankles feel in this position. And if you're not really sensing much because you're really flexible and have a lot of space in this area, maybe you can go ahead and lean back to bring the knees off slightly, and then now noticing how it feels in the front of the ankle. Okay, so we're not here for long, we're just taking a couple of breaths just to kind of know what the body is sensing and feeling at the moment. Okay, so we're going to come down onto the mats, and then we're going to work on one foot first. So if you are wearing long leggings, yeah, you can go ahead and, okay, draw the hem of the leggings up so that you can work on the bare skin, and we'll use that one ball first. Okay, so you bring the one ball towards the front of the foot here. It's really simple. What we're going to do is you can use the flat palm, or you can just hold onto the ball, and we're going to be moving, okay, the ball left and right. Okay, so moving across the fibers of the foot this way. Okay, moving left and right. Make sure that you come up towards the direction of the ankle joint itself as well. Okay. Then you can also, okay, draw it up and down this way, okay, towards the toes, the length of the foot. Make sure that you come as well into the inner sides, okay, of the sole of the foot towards the outer side. You can also do circular movements, okay? So you can move it in one direction, and you can also move it in the other direction. Okay, so once you are done with the single ball movements, then you move on to using two balls, okay, and we get into a different technique. Now when you're using two balls, okay, we're going to be placing the balls onto either side of the ankle. So, right, finding where the ankle bone is, okay, here. And you notice, okay, this is the malleolus. It's a protruding bone, okay, on the inner side, on the medial side, and on the lateral side. So mine are really obvious, you can see. And we're placing, okay, the ball slightly just behind and under that ankle bone, okay, onto either side, both the left and right sides here. And then holding onto the balls here, and apply a little bit of pressure inwards towards the direction of the ankle joint, and then slowly spinning, okay, the balls forwards, okay, and then you can also spin it backwards as well. Alright, so do this a couple of times. Once you are done on the one foot, then remember to do the other side. If you prefer to just do the one side and you want to do a check-in to compare with the side that you haven't done, you can certainly go ahead and do that. Just make sure that for each of the movements that you are doing, okay, whether it's a single ball that we're rolling across fiber, okay, or we're rolling with the fiber, or you're doing, you know, the circular movements in any direction, do that single ball technique first and do about 15 to 20 breaths for each movement before you move on to the next one, and that's about 2 minutes for each movement before you get into the sides of the ankle joints with the double ball spinning, okay? So if you've done both sides, okay, you can do the check-in, or if you just want to do the one and you want to check in, you can. It's entirely up to you, but we'll do the check-in now, peer review. Okay, so just checking in, and then just sensing and feeling, okay, how it feels when you do rotation on the one foot versus the other side. Yeah. Okay, and then doing that flexing and extending. And then now, okay, slowly bring the shins underneath you to come into that kneeling position. Maybe now it's slightly easier to sit back towards the heels if you weren't on the heels before. Okay, and then noticing maybe a sense of looseness, okay, a sense of release into the ankle joints here. If you had the knees up before, yeah, because you have that range. And then now noticing whether there's still tension into this area of the ankles, okay, or whether it has totally released. Okay, so I hope that these few techniques have helped you, and especially getting into this space here. I love working on the feet. They're really, really important, and they're not. There's not a lot of attention paid to these areas here. So it's really nice to do some myofascial release. It not only helps to sometimes release tension, but it helps to really increase blood circulation as well, so that there's more blood flowing into the space, so there's less stagnant blood flow and energy flow, and then you can get into strengthening work for these areas here. Alright, so thank you so much for your time. And I hope to see you in the next video as